My name is Amy Gordon-Fisher, and I'm the CEO of Medcalm. Medcalm is a company that sells wellness and relaxation video content to hospitals to help relax and calm the patients. It works through their TV systems, and it has over 120 programs of different varieties of relaxation programs which a hospital can choose from. It is a strange story. I had spent 18 years in menswear wholesale, and I ran small companies of European designers. And one day I was sitting down with an advertising company getting ready to do a shoot of some of the male models, and a friend of mine said, how would you like to go with me to take a hypnotherapy course down in the village? And I said, that sounds really interesting, you know, I'm going to do that. And I went to this amazing course of learning how to do hypnotherapy, and the teacher was just fantastic. And I could see how this really could help people. And at the same time, my mother unfortunately had pancreatic cancer. And I would go with her many times to the infusion center. And the infusion center would be at a hospital. You'd walk into the hospital. Happened to be a hospital in New Rochelle, New York. And you'd walk in, and the lobby was seafoam green, and there were lounges in the area. And then when you had to go back to the area where she actually got the chemotherapy, it was depressing. You know, the walls were gray, and there were several chairs in the room with everyone crowded together, and there was nothing else for them. Now, I would go, my sister would go and keep my mother company, but there were many people who were alone, and they had nothing. And these things kind of, you know, stay in your mind. And another time I actually went to the hospital myself for a surgery, and it was not a serious surgery, and I knew what the outcome would be. I'd be fine. It's just a procedure I needed to do. But I took along a meditation tape on a little CD player. No, it was actually tapes then. It was a tape machine. And I was listening to a meditation relaxation program because I knew it would be good for me and help calm me down, even though I knew the outcome. And I was listening to this, and my doctor said to me, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm listening to a relaxation program." He said, "You know, that's a really good idea." And I said to him, "Everybody should have that." And that was my eureka moment. And I said, you know what, I have to find a way for everyone to have this. And I had no idea how I was going to do it. And I was lost. I was a business person, but I didn't know what I was doing. So I reached out to people, and I asked people, and I said, trying to come up with ideas, and I wound up developing a wireless headphone system that didn't exist, with the help of engineers and technicians, and Sennheiser is a company, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to make this work. And we actually created a wireless headphone system that didn't exist before, so that patients could listen to audio wellness content by experts in the field. So we developed audio programs, and we had many different people willing to work with us very inexpensively because they knew it was for a good cause. So we really did get experts in the field. And we started selling it to hospitals so that they could use it. They used it pre-op to help calm people. They used it in the infusion center, which I was happy about. And then one time at a Plaintree conference, a VA hospital came up, and they said, gee, this is wireless, so we could use it with our psych patients. And I said, yeah, I guess you could. And then we started selling psych hospitals. So, you know, Plaintree did have a big impact on us getting the message out to the world, which was really great. And about 6 years later, at another conference, a company came up to me, and they were a large interactive patient care TV company, and they said to me, so can you make videos so that we can put it on the patient rooms and they could have it? And of course I didn't know anything about making videos, but I remember my father always said to me, just say yes and figure it out later. And I said, sure. And I went home and I spoke to friends of mine. I said, does anybody know anything about making videos? And of course somebody does. And by now we're in hospitals all over the country with all different kinds of content, or relaxation and art and spiritual content and special for peds. And it became a company. And we got to do a lot of good work for people. And it's kind of living on that one eureka moment when you say, I really want to do this, and then have to figure out how to do it. And you can do it. What keeps me excited? I think the fact that I have to keep up with technology, that I always have to learn about new techniques for televisions, that they become better and clearer and brighter, so we add content, that we can use drones now to do photography in nature, that we find, more interesting music theories of how to get music healing, that we can expand the possibilities of what patients can have available to them, and just keep getting the message out there and reaching more patients. The most important thing to me is the feedback we get from hospitals, from patients, from mothers of children who have been sick, who write to us and say, is there any way I can get that program? My son loved it. That's what means something to us. That's how we figure we spread the message, and that's the most rewarding part of it, is the feedback we get from the families and the patients. The more we get these kind of products out into the market, that the experience that we all have in hospitals, I know that I've been there myself, and the one thing that you lack as a patient in a hospital is the feeling of being able to control anything. And it's a total loss of control, and we are captive. We are captive. And I know we're captive to our televisions too. So if we can bring that and do something for the patient to actually how they feel that day, that night, then I think we're all doing really worthwhile work.